And now for my second opening statement. This week, the House Oversight Committee held hearings on something so crazy, it sounds like it's ripped from the pages of a bad spy novel. Drug Enforcement Administration agents engaging in sex parties, paid for by the very drug cartels that they were investigating. And not only were they not fired, some of them got bonuses and promotions. Now, DEA Chief Michelle Leonhardt, testifying before that committee, says that she doesn't have the power to simply fire those agents.
I don't recommend the sanction. I can't fire. I can't recommend a penalty.
You have to work with agents over whom you can't discipline and have no control, and you have no control over the security clearance. What the hell do you get to do?
That was Congressman Trey Gowdy firing back at Leonhardt over her uselessness. Stick around, Congressman Gowdy himself is going to be my next guest. But back to the issue. Now, the Inspector General's report found the sex parties with prostitutes were funded by the local drug cartels. And they took place over a period of years, and that the DEA agents' weapons, computers, and smartphones were protected by those cartels during the sex parties. Protected by the cartels? What? Were they watching over them to make sure they'd work properly when the agents needed them in the next drug bust? Or more likely, were they using that time to copy files from computers, clone the cell phones, and make sure the weapons maybe were not in top working order? Now, you would think that after the 2012 Secret Service hooker hoedown, that this Leonhardt woman, clearly not a Lionheart, and more along the lines of a Lois Lerner, would have done something about the issue, which, by the way, she had long known about. Now, Congressman Jason Chaffetz said, look the other way, Leonhardt tried to actually sweep it under the rug. And the Inspector General found noteworthy the fact that the DEA did not fully investigate the solicitation of prostitutes, and that those investigations were closed prematurely. No surprise, given that Leonhardt says she couldn't do anything and couldn't even explain under the civil service rules what she could and couldn't do. Why someone this incompetent would be running the Drug Enforcement Administration is lost on me. This scandal not only speaks to her lack of a moral compass, but also to her lack of a backbone. Most of the women I know in law enforcement, especially the ones in charge, are some of the toughest broads out there. But this wimp says she can't fire, she can't discipline, she can't take away their security clearances. But what she can do is build on and improve. Build on and improve what? Get better quality hookers? A real leader would know those agents are in jeopardy. That any cartel paying a prostitute to sleep with a cop is not doing it for public relations. They're doing it to get information, to stop cops from doing their job, or simply to kill them. And a leader in charge of an agency who's known about this for years and allows the premature closing of these investigations, who really wanted to make a difference, would go to Congress and get the law changed. But then again, the law didn't need to be changed. Take a look at behavior that allows for punishment up to firing. Don't you think that cavorting with cartel hookers would fall under conduct unbecoming a DEA employee, or disrespectful, unprofessional conduct, or improper association with a convicted felon or persons connected with criminal activity, or unprofessional off-duty conduct? Really? So we had Lois Lerner at the IRS, Julia Pearson at the Secret Service, and now Michelle Leonhardt at the DEA. How do these people get into these power positions? Look, I was a DA, I ran an office. I had an assistant DA take a county car, get in an accident, leave the scene of the accident with someone he shouldn't have been with in the first place. I didn't need anybody's permission. I didn't look at the law. The behavior was unprofessional. It reflected poorly on me and my office, so I fired him. You're in law enforcement, there's a standard. If you violate the standard, there must be consequences. And if cowardly Leonhardt doesn't have the guts to do it, the ability to recognize the dangers of this behavior, then not only should she be fired without a pension, but we ought to get our money back. And that's my second open.